it has the live chat there. So I hope that I have some people of my clients that will block any of the comments. We're just like warning you. It's been glitching all morning, and the live chat thing is on. So I mean, there's still investigations and stuff like that going on, but it is the day of love, and it is that maybe some Valentine's comments will be a little bit better than all the hate that's been going on. Why I've turned it off for the last little while. So welcome everybody, welcome. We're going to talk about ascension, raising our consciousness into love, 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 and knowing who you are, and the harmonization with Source, bringing forward your unique soul's divine design, which is what I talk about all the time. Nobody talks about it on the planet like I do. Nobody offers the codes that I do. Nobody offers what I do. Nobody can do what I do. It's my unique gifts with Source Creator. It was saved, especially activated for this important time for humanity, so that there can be somebody on the planet that allows for the various dimensions and threads of energy and threads of potentiality to be offered, instead of it being from the olden days of one prophet saying that these are things and little predictions. But no, we actually have quite a vast array of knowledge and wisdoms about the multiverse that we all belong within and what belongs within us. And if we think of God, Source Creator, everything is Source Creator. And so we can't just allow ourselves to continually be in a stagnant, de-evolved state if we're leaving God in just church experiences and just those experiences of religion, because God is more than religion. God is all life. And so where and when and how did we dissect it from Source not being in the evolution of quantum mechanics and quantum physics? It is Source. It's the science of Source. It's how Source, creates creation. There has to be, in the physical matter, there has to be science that takes its place for the alchemization of matter and elements, and chemicals, the chemistry table. All of these things are a part of how, energy works and energy moves. So there has to be Source Creator within it all. So for us to separate that Source is here but not there, Source is here but not there, Source is now but not there, we're kind of beyond that lower vibrational mindset. No, Source is all things. How could we have Source create planets and galaxies but not being within our DNA? Source is the science of all things. Source is all that is. Source shows us how to alchemize. Source is within us when we alchemize. Source is all things. We're not separate. We're never separate from Source. So we want to take all of our consciousness to higher explorations and higher expansions and higher of all these things. Can you see my outfit? You can see it from where I'm sitting. It's my Blanc New York jacket. I'm so happy because Blanc New York is one of my favorite brands. I love Blanc New York. As a stylist, there's certain clothes that I look for. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. I'm going to be doing one show a week that will be on fashion and some of the other things that I like fashion and makeup and goddess things. I love styling. I love styling in that way. So thank you for asking nice questions. Common questions and not derogatory questions. The chat will be, they're still doing investigations. There will be charges laid. Just know that they are still doing investigations on the chat room. It was glitching this morning. Otherwise, I would have turned the chat thing off. But it is glitching. So this is why the chat is on, because I did set it up to have no chat, and then it just came up with a chat. So hello, everybody. We're talking about the soul's blueprint, raising your consciousness, and what that consciousness has to do with allowing yourself to move into new arenas. We've all talked about the arena of there's between now and the Lion's Gate, the Galactic Federations and more of the Federation Collective. They're going to be moving and streamlining timelines so that we can become more and more rarefied and purified with the spiritual grids. So again, it's very important, and I'm not here to prove anything to you. It's very important that you align with the spiritual grids, to the practices that I offer and other of those like myself for the Divine Father's plan. And that's okay if you don't, there's no judgment, but there will be the shifting out more and more and more, because it's going to be more every day based on your vibration. So if you're not working on your vibration, the core vibration through that pillar of light, if you're not working on that core vibration Spirit cannot force you to be in any reality. It's free will. So your vibration will dictate if it's an Epstein Earth reality and it's trafficking and all of those things, then that's what it will be. And that's your choice. So you have to work on your energies. You have to work on transmuting. If it is a higher vibration, you're aligning with 5D, which is the sacred Trinity, which is all the things that we talk about. And so you have to understand that's where we're moving for. There's going to be more and more that the Galactic Federations will be playing a part in our everyday life. And that everyday life is where your vibration's at. How are you aligning? How are you directing? How are you intending your energy? So again, you can tell them, and there's beautiful, positive, loving comments in the chat room. They are still watching all of the IP addresses. Investigations and charges will be laid. So I'm very grateful. As Father said, by the end of next Friday, there should be reports and news things coming out. Although the people that have been involved, the 300 people that have been involved in targeting me, they don't want it to get out to the news, but Spirit said it must go out to the news because I was only one of millions that have been attacked in similar ways. And they don't want to have to go into bankruptcy in the payout of the abuses that have been done. Mine was quite extensive. I'm still homeless as of this day because they're working out what to pay me and how to pay me and how to do it so that as little collective news will get out there. But the Father is the Father, and the Father is going to bring justice to many like myself that didn't make it, that I speak for, many of those that were MK Ultra, and many of those that have been abused. And it's those that have been playing the game of copying, mimicking, taking other people's things, and you're not getting the process of evolution, you're not getting the process of ascension. You're still going about copying and taking from people and seeing how you can get the money and get this and get that. These are the parasitic type of energies, and that's not going within and saying, who am I as a soul with Source Creator? You have to do the work. Chasing other people's ideas, chasing other people's energies, chasing outer is exactly the opposite of what we have to heal. It's what we have to heal. That's why the situations are the way they are, is because people have no sense of self. There's no connection with Source Creator. This is the connection with Source, where you're aligning light with all of your chakras. You're aligning light with all that you are as a multidimensional being. You've got your soul's blueprint. You understand the minutia, and you don't want to be like anyone else. You wouldn't want to copy anybody in any way. You just wouldn't, because that's not Source activating you with your DNA. Source wouldn't activate you in your DNA if you're mimicking somebody else and you're taking somebody else's work and you're putting it on a fake AI page saying that it's your work, and it's not. You're not going to get activated. You're not going to get ranked. You're not going to get moved up. You're not going to go through the gates, period. So it's okay that you have, especially for Divine Feminine, it's okay that you have those days that you want to have, an outfit that looks like somebody else's. That's great, because you want to emulate some of those energies. You don't want to mimic it and copy it and have your face changed so that you're looking exactly like somebody that you're not meant to be. You're not meant to be that. The DNA comes from the cosmos. It comes from the planet that you're from. It comes from the lineages that you're from. It comes from the shamanic energies that you're from. We need your specific codes. But you can't bring your codes forward if you're trying to be like somebody else. What's been damaging is that everybody's put their power and their faith in box store beliefs and cults and covens beliefs, and they've been misguided and absolutely misinformed about Source, about God, about who they are, and they've got themselves in a whole bunch of criminal trouble. And that you can't fix it. You can't destiny swap. You can't dump it on people. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. Yes, you know what? I'm going to do a show next week, actually. You've inspired me. Thank you. You've inspired me. You've inspired me. I love you. The color that I really like is the honey. It's called honey. It's light brown. It's light brown, honey brown. My color is very similar to Jesus's hair. It's like brown with some red in it, and I don't like the red. So I like the honey blonde. So there's just a little bit of blonde through here, but my hair is exactly the same color as Jesus. If you go to that Akine poster, it's a little bit darker. the Akane Jesus poster. She's a beautiful artist. She saw him in a vision, and the vision that I see and what I see of Jesus and how I know of Jesus is exactly the epitome of her painting. She has depicted Jesus to the T. I remember, when Jesus and I are together and he stands before me, my index finger is the length of his nose. He has a very straight nose. His nose is so perfect. And so if you go to that Akane picture of Jesus, that's exactly what Jesus looks like. And so his hair and my hair are exactly the same. He's got a bit of red in his hair. His eyes are very green. His lineage comes from Scotland and the UK area, the Merovingians and the King Solomon and so on. So that gives us the green eyes and the brown hair. But I do like the honey blonde because it just goes with my coloring in it. I just love it. It's very pretty, and it's just my goddess. Originally in my 20s, I dyed my hair black. I was like really black with some lighter brown. Thank you. I'd like your hair too. You can. Too bad we didn't have in this chat room like pictures. You guys could put pictures of your hair or your favorite hairstyle. So we're going to talk about hair. That'd be great. I like talking about hair. So thank you for joining the chat line. Just to let you know, everybody, the chat line should not be open. It was glitching this morning. Hello from Madrid. Beautiful. I can't wait till we can have a proper chat line where you guys can actually show pictures of hair and we can actually have an dialogue. Thank you. Thank you. Just to let you know, the chat line is being monitored because they're still doing charges and they're still pulling up all of the people that are involved in the online cult that have been throwing hate crimes at me. So there's people working on it. As I said, if you go to my YouTube page and you read the posts in there, they're getting within the next 10 days to make charges on those people that have been involved in the discrimination and slow dagger and subjugating and black magic and all of those things. So we're really happy that God has been plucking people one by one. So thank you. I have good question. You know what? I would love for MAC. I love MAC. I love MAC powders, eyeshadows. But I do right now, just because I've had no money, I've had to use London Drugs. L'Oreal is probably my most favorite eye mascara because it just always works with me. L'Oreal. I've tried so many different types of mascara and they never work. They always get, you can see the mascara up here, but L'Oreal doesn't ever show. This one that I'm using is right now is Maybelline because they didn't have any L'Oreal in the store. I like L'Oreal. I like L'Oreal shadows and I like L'Oreal mascara. It's the only mascara that I use because it's the only one that works. I'm really picky about mascara. I've bought mascara that's been really expensive, the higher end brands, and they don't work at all. They're horrible, actually. Some of the really expensive brands. I've tried them, and I was, so upset when I bought them. I had to throw them out within 2 wearings because I just couldn't wear them. Very expensive brands of mascara, so I had to throw them out. Yeah, I love L'Oreal. L'Oreal is really good. Their shadows. Oh, but my favorite shadow, I have to say, bar none, is MAC. When I get paid and when I get my money, it's one of the things I'm going to do is maybe I'll even videotape it. That would be fun too, wouldn't we? We can videotape it if they let me. Hi sweetheart, hi goddess. The platform was glitching on me and it somehow started to record the chat line. So just keep an eye on it. It's okay if right now we're talking about makeup and hair and stuff like that. So I want to engage with those that are truly involved in ascending and self-love and moving forward and stuff like that. So I don't talk about the Bible passages. I'm not going to argue with anybody about your beliefs. This is not what this is for. This is my consciousness, raising consciousness. This is allowing everybody to align with 5D grids, the spiritual grids. We're not going to talk about evil being money and money being evil. It's about how you use it. So I'm not going to respond to, and I'm not going to take time and waste time with these lower vibrational experiences that people are just trying to bait me. So you can cancel those all out. So right now the chat line is being investigated again. So just watch your comments. Otherwise, your karma is your karma. And so what were we talking about? Oh, MAC. So I do love MAC. The original gold, I prefer gold on my eyeshadow and then a lighter silver around. And that's just, I like my eyes to look very light, and it pulls out the gold flecks that are in my green eyes. So I use gold around my eye. And the gold shadow, the gold powder that's in MAC, I absolutely love MAC. MAC makeup. The girls are always very knowledgeable in there. They're very, free with their wisdoms and information. They don't kind of run at you at the door like Sephora. I prefer MAC. And you can get the little round things that you can build your own little palettes. But what I'd really like if MAC would do a deal with me, I would love that, a brand deal with me, is I'd like to do a glitter pack, for Christmas and special holidays, because I like the lighter gold and the silvers and greens and the emerald colors. I'd like the jewel colors. And then to have it in a glitter pack so that it has 3, right? Because you use 3 on your eye. I don't use 2 colors on my eye, I usually 3. And so I'd like to have a 3-pack of shadow, and then to have that my special brand. And it's just really pretty. I love the MAC powder. It's very light. It's very glittery and glossy, but it's not too chunky. So I do like MAC makeup. And they're very nice in there. And you can get, sometimes they'll have for like a holiday pack, they'll have a little holiday kit, and they have specials that you can get there. And they do have that program. If you buy certain things, you get a percentage off. So I do like MAC. I do like MAC. I was hoping that when I get paid, I'll go in there and get some lipstick. I do need some more lipstick. I've got like three glosses that I use because I haven't had any money to buy new lip gloss. And I love lip gloss, but so I'm going to be doing all that too. And so, yeah, we talked about hair, we talked about makeup, and that's all part of what makes you you, because part of this new moving into this 5D experience is about you bringing what you really like, and what do you want to talk about most often, and what brings you most happiness. And when people are around you, they say, oh, I heard you talked about that last time. So pay attention to those things that, when you're out socializing, when you're out in these new energies where you're going to be gravitating towards people that are more your vibration, pay attention to what you're always talking about. Pay attention to what you're always seeking information on, because those are parts of your soul's blueprint that you want to come forward and share with the collective. We're going into a time and a space where we're stepping away from church and state, and where you see some of the comments are people really wanting to stay in church and state, and that's fine. But we're not going to argue back and forth, and we're not going to say what's better and what's not better. No, you stay where your vibration is okay, and I'm going to go where my vibration is okay. Where we're going and what I've been shown, I talk about my vibrational being as a conduit. Nobody does what I do. Nobody can do what I do. Nobody brings forward what I do. It's a trained gift that I have as a celestial, that I'm more and more in the veils of being in my celestial energy. And I see into energy, I read energy of collectives, of bigger things, of smaller things. I have that way with God. That's my source creator. That's God to me. God is everything. There is no separation from God. God is everything. And it's about the science and the quantumness of God and how we connect with that science, that we get into growing and expanding our consciousness capacity and aptitude. So this is our goal, is to raise and stretch our capacity and aptitude of what God really is, what consciousness really is. The more that you seek consciousness, the more that you seek God. It's one and the same. It's not separate. It never will be separate. The lower the dimension, the lower the consciousness. Right? Lower the dimension, lower the consciousness. These are all truths. Lower the dimension is the lower the consciousness. Why? Because what is a dimension? It's information and vibration. So if there's not a lot of information, it's just, like harmonics and stuff. Right? Thank you. I know, I'm so happy. Thank you for your donation. I'm going to go get some lip gloss. Yeah. I saw your little comment there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And so maybe I'll show you my lip gloss on I might even do, I might even do, the study space that I'm in they actually open on Sundays, but they only open on Sundays for a couple of hours. So I might do a video like Sunday late afternoon, PST time. So if you all want to, maybe we'll do that on Sunday. Do you guys want to do that on Sunday? So if we plan for Sunday afternoon, maybe around 1 to 2 or something, or 1 to 3. I don't know if I can have it for 2 hours, but I think she said I can only have it for an hour because it's a shorter day. So maybe from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, I'll come on and we'll talk makeup and hair. And so if you want to, do your makeup and then just talk about your favorite products, so get your products on Sunday and bring them with you and just put the names of them in there, because I'd like to have some of your opinions too of what you really like. I'm very particular about my mascara because I like mascara that elongates and separates. And a lot of the mascaras, they have clumps. They're very clumpy, and it's very, you can see the residue, and I don't like the residue because then you got to touch it up and you got to fix it throughout the day. But my next thing too is, to get my eyebrows, is to get the proper, there's a 4D eyebrow brush that I want to get. So I'm going to get that for sure, because I'm not very good at my eyebrows, and that's one of my weaker points. So I want to get somebody professional to do my eyebrows. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful for all of your compliments, and if it's a purity of heart compliment, then it's allowing a lot of love to go back to the collective. So I appreciate it. I appreciate your purity of heart comments. Thank you so much. Namaste. It's unknown how really old I am, how young I am. Source and I are working on a youth program. Source and I are youthing, so it's in my contract. I'm helping humanity change their vibrational beliefs about youth and aging and so on. And once we have more light in our body, we're going to be becoming lighter and lighter and younger, because we get to recode the regeneration of our cells, and we get to regenerate our cells as new youthful Christedness, which is agelessness. And that means that even when we choose to have babies down the road, when we are 5D, the babies we won't gain as much weight when we have a higher vibrational baby, because they're going to be more light, and we're going to be higher in vibration. We're not going to be eating the food and the things we used to thought we eat as women. So when we're actually having babies in 5D, down the road, long down the road, we can actually manifest a baby without it being in our womb. And that's way down the road, because we're not that advanced yet. But as women are going through this 5D process, we're not going to be gaining the weight. So we're going to have to change our mentality about how much weight you should gain, what's healthy, and all that kind of stuff. No, because the higher in light vibration you're not going to be gaining the weight that was needed in a lower vibrational dimension to support that baby and to give that baby its nourishment. It's not needed anymore. So we're going to have to change our mind, thought, and our mentality on, on babies. And what's healthy to be pregnant and all that kind of stuff. It does have to change. So I want us to be more advancing. I want us to be more eclectic. I want us to be starseeds. Starseeds is which we were going to talk about, the starseed diverse blueprint. What I've seen, and this is just what I've seen, because remember, we're going into a higher vibrational dimension, which means that we've got to honor the higher vibrational consciousness, and it's going to be separate from box store beliefs. From what I've seen and what I've felt and what I've seen from Source Creator, and of course, Source Creator doesn't give the full plan of what's going to happen, because everybody has free will. The Divine Father's plan changes because it's a living document, just as all of your soul blueprints change. And so when we're going forward in this new experience, and what you can start to intend, because your reality that you're going to be on, as I told at the very beginning of this call today, is that from here on out, the federations and the galactic federations and all the star beings and the angels that are helping us, they're helping you be on the vibrational reality that is in alignment with your core vibration. That is the only law that is followed, because they don't have the say to have not earned. And so you cannot just, the angels are not going to move you to a reality that you just didn't earn and you're not vibrating at. So just know that these are the changing times. I've put a really great video on my YouTube channel yesterday, and it was an Arcturian video. So go to that, because that's what the channelers and I talk about. We talk about bringing out new information that is teaching humanity how to raise your conscious, how to be in pure alignment, how to know what true Source feels like, how to understand Source as a quantum experience, how to understand Source as your quantum body, do your healing sessions at night, really come harmonize with Source Creator. Allow yourself to be this more 5D eclectic version of, finally you get to express yourself. Finally you get to be this certain way that you've always wanted to be. That's the Source Creator that is all that I teach. Because we are here to create the earth that comes out of discrimination, that comes out of separation and suppression, that comes out of, no freedom of expression. No, you have to express like us, you have to look like us, you have to be like us, you have to speak like us, no. That's not the 5D earth. 5D earth is absolute hybridization of all of the species that God has given the okay, and God has given the divine plan to be reintroduced back into Christ consciousness. So it's going to be eclectic, it's going to be creative, it's going to be colorful, it's going to be who we are in respect of all universal laws, in respect of who we are as divine beings. We're not meant to look like other people. We're not meant to be asymmetrically perfect. We're not meant to be, and if you are, that's perfect. It's all good. But don't go and change yourself to think that you've got to look like the standard, because the standard's going to be changing. The standard's not what it was. As we were talking about yesterday, the football, which was surprising to me, and that was a wild card, for the NFL on a Super Bowl Sunday, no less, to make that choice of the energies that they were making was profoundly advanced. They probably didn't know they were doing it, but it was a kudos. So, I mean, but we can't expect what was an old, Super Bowl Sunday industry rating to be the same as what it is going to be from now on. We can't expect those things because we're consciously more awake now. We're consciously more aware now. We're consciously attracting higher vibrational energies that the women and the people that are going to be on stage are going to be aligned with what they say is true. That's the energy. What I say I am is true. That's my energy. This is my energy. This is my vibration. This is why I help change. This is why I activate. This is what I am. This is what I do. This is Source Creator. Don't deviate. And if you deviate, you get up there like me, I'm a very exaggerated being because I love to play Source. I love to play any type of energy that Source wants me to play. If I want to have a comedy skit show, I can do a comedy skit show and I'll be very exaggerated about the characters I want to talk about because it's, for me, as a starseed on this planet, it seems ridiculous that there's the things that go on. And I have to make comedy out of it. Otherwise, I would literally go insane with the things that people do and think that it's okay and get away with. People actually get away with these things, but not anymore because it's changing. We have to inspire and we have to change. We are changing the outer experience. We are changing to make it better so that we have higher vibrational leaders that know exactly what Ascension is about. We're not going to stray our people. You don't want to be led by people that are talking about, Epstein cults and covens. Why would you go that way? You're going to work extra hard to not only clear your 51%, but now you got to clear your karma from being in an Epstein cult for 5 years? Really? That's what you like? So just get to know that, and leave and don't get too caught up with the people that want to keep baiting you in Bible passages, that keep baiting you in old ways. They want to stay in that energy. Let them stay in that energy. But you're here to know that 5D, I'm giving you this as a beautiful, I'm giving you the beautiful Christed light, the Source Creator, quantum cosmic being that you are, the quantum hybrid that you are, the quantum multiversal being that you are, the quantum metatronic light that you are, the quantum everything that you are is Source. Doesn't that feel good to be everything with Source? Your soul's blueprint is this. And every time you go around an ascension cycle, you're activating a new version of who you can be, and Source and your guides are going to activate your DNA. As you're calling in these soul fragments, you're going to get that Lyran, you're going to get that Andromedan, you're going to get that Arcturian. And I mean, these beings are gorgeous. These beings are gorgeous. I mean, if you want real, true health and beauty, these beings are gorgeous. I mean, we have to prepare ourselves to be, in front of these beings that are just gorgeous. They might not look like we do. There's some beautiful beings that are very humanoid and they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. Some of these beings I was shown in, I was talking with them. I mean, the Pleiades are gorgeous. I mean, they're just beautiful, gorgeous beings, Pleiadians. But there's a collective in the galaxy known as the Andromedans, and the Andromedans have a select species of goddesses. That these goddess beings are very ancient beings, and these goddesses are known in the galaxy as the beautiful ones. And these goddesses are gorgeous. They're tall, beautiful. They don't look like the Pleiadians, but I mean, you look at them and you're just like, oh, you're like, oh, you're so beautiful. But it's not what we're shown in 3D as beauty. So we have to understand this, but you look at them, it's like, oh, I'm in awe. I just want to look at your eyebrows. There's some girls that work here, and she's so meticulous about her eyebrows. I said, your eyebrows are so pretty. How do you get them like that? And she says, oh, thank you. Nobody ever says anything. I said, but I appreciate your eyebrows. They're so beautiful. And I give her compliments, and it makes her so happy. And I said, I love your eyebrows. They're so beautiful and perfect. But these Andromedans are what's the goddesses of the galaxy, and they're like they showed me what they look like, and this line of goddesses were like before me, and they're like, shoulders back, and that like this, right? Beauty. That's where the beauty comes from. It comes from your pillar of light. Beauty. And they just stood like, they're very slow in their movement. And they look at you with very purposeful eyes. Very purposeful, and their movements are very, because they're floating, right? They're high vibrational. They're floating. They don't walk around all clumpy like me and tripping over rocks and branches. They're like floating, and they're like, their bodies they move in the light of their bodies, and the light just comes through their skin and their hair. So I want to put on goddess classes where we're actually working with light through our bodies, and you're going to feel like within a very short period of time, within like 90 days, you start working with light, and you start bringing light up through your chakras and through your womb and through all of the vessels and all of your bones and your blood. And you start working with light, because I've got really powerful hands. So you just work with light and work with your hands, and you start activating. You start calling in the light to your chakras, all of your hands. You start working with light. You can do your own, light massage, touch massage and touch therapy. That's what I do. And so just start working with it at night. If you want one of your health sessions, you want to book one with me, just book it with me, and I can give you, and you can say, we'll tune into your guides, and we'll tune into your soul's blueprint, and you can give you a health session, and you can work on the things that you're going to be activated soon. If there's, like last night, I had a call with one of my beautiful clients, and I just get activated just talking with you about what your body needs, what are some nourishments that your body needs, is there oils, anything like that your body is looking for. So when we have those sessions, I just get activated, and I tell you what your body is looking for, because that's just how I get activated. I activate when you're in front of me, and when you're in front of me, I get activated and you're activated. So perhaps it's even easier if the chat line is open, because then I get activated by you, and then I get to offer you what your bodies need, and if you're missing anything, then the nutrients are there. And so that's just part of your soul's blueprint that I get to pay attention to. So the genetic communication is also Christ consciousness. It's the multidimensional. So again, as you're raising your consciousness, the DNA talks to me, and the DNA talks to those of us we do our job in the way we do our job. We're here before people so that we can teach people how to be higher multidimensional. And you have to work it, because the guides can't move you to a dimension. The guides cannot move you to a reality that you're not aligned with. You have to be aligned with the reality that you're going to be aligned with. So this way you have to do the daily work. So if you want information on how to do the daily work, then just ask, and you can book a session. Book a session with me. They're so important. It gets you on your line, gets you on your way, and you get a good grasp of what is my blueprint. This is my blueprint. These are the things I'm going to work on. And once you know how to do the process, then it's really, we'll do an example today, but I show you my meditations. I show you how to clear. I show you what healing really looks like. I don't mask healing on any level. I'm fully transparent. This is what healing is. And it's not comfortable some days, and some days your hair is not done, and some days you don't look that great. That's, we're here to be the best versions of us, no matter what we're going through. And some days it's a dark night of the soul. And some days you find out really shitty things about people that have been coming to you and doing to you. And you've got to be able to process it. You've got to be able to process the super crap shit that people have done on purpose, with intention and malice. And some of these people are the people that are in the collective that are called officials, that are making laws and supposedly running humanity. How's that okay? Right? So we're gonna have this is after, between now and what is this, February? Between now and spring solstice, like spring equinox, there's going to be a lot come out about the celestials and the angelics for God's plan. There's going to be a lot that's going to come to the surface. And a lot of that Epstein stuff, cloning stuff, the corrupt governments, the shadow governments, the cults and covens, all of this stuff is going to come up by the spring solstice equinox. So as this stuff comes up, I'm going to do special shows on clones. And what is that, and how do we heal with that, and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to do, because I like styling, I'm going to do a thing on styling, and maybe I do that just on Sundays. And then we're going to come up with, how does the collective move forward in maintaining your blueprint? Because if you're not maintaining your blueprint, you're going to be in whatever reality you're going to be reality. So if you don't do the energy work, you cannot expect to be on a high vibrational reality. It is that simple, right? You can't do cult and coven stuff and then expect to be on a 5D reality, because you won't. We've talked about that. It's very basic, right? There's energy is three ways. Energy is three ways. You can either neutralize it and choose new, or you can stay in the old version of the matrix, and it's falling and it's breaking. If you want to stay in the box store beliefs, box store beliefs will not get you to ascension. You cannot go higher by staying lower. You cannot go higher by hating people and killing people. and interfering with people's lives that is outside the universal laws. So it is your vibration. Everything you think, thought, word, and deed is your vibration. Thought, word, and deed is your responsibility. Thought, word, and deed is your entrainment to either stay where you are. If you stay where you are, then you're going to stay where you are. Source is not going to guide. Source is not going to force you. You're not going to have any being that will force you. Nobody's going to come to your door and say, here's how you ascend. No, that's not how you ascend. Not how you ascend. No. You got to do the work. Because you're going to be activated in one of your gifts, skills, and talents that is spiritual. And at a spiritual level, you're going to have to show somebody and teach somebody, well, what's a DNA code on? How do I get activated? What's really in my DNA? I want to see that. I want to see that with my third eye. What's in my DNA? Where is it? Where is my going? Where are my true gifts and talents? I want to be one with God. Yeah, I want to be one with God. I want to offer all my godliness to creation. I'm offering all that I am as God to all of the collective. It's a vibration, and I'm packed. That's why the mother and all of the beings on the other side, nobody could put a number on me. Nobody can put a number on me. I cannot be bought. Yes, I have to have a contract. I'll work out contracts because it's a 3D 4D experience where I have to exchange money for living and all that kind of stuff. That's the way it is right now. It's not always going to be that way. And no, it's not evil. And no, and being a beautiful, gorgeous, vibrational being and exchanging money for my energy. No, that's not evil. And anybody that thinks that is very low consciousness. If you go to book an appointment with any channeler, and you talk specifically to God, you talk specifically to the highest 13th dimensional creators, and see what they say. They'll say the same thing. Go back on Daniel's channel and look up any one of his videos that he's talking to 13th dimensional creators about exchange for money. Daniel's one of the top channelers on the planet. We all charge. We're not gonna sit in nothing. No, we have to survive. We have to live. And this is the way it is right now. So our gifts and skills and talents, for us being prophets, for us being seers, this is what we get paid. Way back in the olden days when they were scribing for the Bible, the scribes had free room and board. So again, there's just so much low vibrational beliefs. It's just a lot of innocuous, incorrect, misinformed, wrong. I mean, if you just look at everything as a quantum experience, put everything on the table, do an infinity, and mark it out with your quantum energy. I want everybody to do that. Anything that you think is not fair, anything that you're questioning about what you've been taught in religion or church or state, put it on the table and then do an infinity. Put a positive on one side, a neutral in the middle, and a negative on the other. The negative is entropy. The positive is eternal life. And you put it on the table. Does this sound like it's godly? Ask about it. Does it sound like women not being anywhere in the collective as a prophet or as a seer or as a leader? Does it sound like this is a godly thing? Does this sound like it's eternal life if we just take away all divine feminine and we only use divine masculine for only their word and only their experience and only their perspective? Does that sound like an eternal life thing when the universal law number 2 is the law of balance? You can work it out yourself. Isn't that common sense? So anything that you're questioning about as how you're being directed as your godliness, this is what God wants of you. God wants you to be your own agency of sovereignty. It's not your sovereignty if you're following a cult and coven that has no idea what godly is. And all they're doing is mimicking other people and making fake AI pages and stealing from them and stealing their inheritance and stealing their insurance money and stealing this and that. Calgary cult, I'm still going to keep calling you out. Everybody that owes me money, you've been told 1 billion times how to come to me. You're not going to come up, pop-ups on me. You're not going to come and make an appointment with me and just to see this and just to pretend we're friends and pretend you want me to slide back into my life because now you know God's going to bless me anyways, whether you bless me with my money or not. God's going to bless me anyways. And you're just going to still sit in karma. So again, everything I talk about is showing you. You're going to prove it to yourself. If you choose not to make it right, if you choose not to return my money, if you choose to still do magic, if you choose to still be hateful, you're still going to be in Epstein Earth by. You're not going to be in the same timeline. You will not even be able to see me by the time August hits. You're going to be in the lowest vibrational reality, and I'm going to be on a higher one. You won't even be able to touch my reality. You're not going to move in there. You're not going to go in there in the etheric time or in dream time and try and dream rape me and try and wrap your bondage, which has all been done. You're not going to try and come into my dreams at night and bind me to your karma and bind me to your dick and bind me to your problems and bind me to all that you are so that you can take my destiny and steal from me for the billionth time. No, because God has totally had enough of all of you and your binding and your destiny swaps. And God is absolutely taking you and absolutely cut the cords. You're not going to be able to touch my spirit or my energy ever. There will never, ever be incarnations ever, ever again. You've sealed your fate with God. And the sealed fate with God on all of those from Calgary. You've spit on God so many times. The only place is the place that you have chosen. You've said that you don't care about how much you've hurt me. You don't care about how much you've done to me. You've chosen your own hell. You chose it. So bye. Keep the money, keep all the things you've done, and everybody in the world and everybody in the universe will see your deeds. The whole world will know about my case. The whole world will know. The whole world will know everything and everybody and what they've done. Everybody will know. Source wants it brought out to the public. Everybody will know. Everybody will know that when you saw a piece of paper, when you chose to take part in the rituals, when you chose to take money for trying to take me out, when you chose to hide the money, when you chose to go into a bank and pretend it was me, when you chose to look like me as a doppelganger on porn videos, when you chose to open up AI fake accounts, when you chose to do the 50,000 things that were done on me to keep me suppressed, to keep me silent, taking money to close off my YouTube accounts, and I say it every video, YouTube corruption, every video they're messing with my dates, every video they mess with my numbers, every day this goes on. So when you choose to do these things, God will have all of your names known. Everything will be plucked and pulled because now there's more and more serious investigators that are even more and more seriously going on. Well, how did this go on for so long? How did this go on for so long and nobody helped her? How did this go on for so long and nobody clicked in? Like there's serious government crimes going on here. How is nobody dealing with this? How comes nobody's helping her? How come nobody in the public is helping this girl? It doesn't matter whether I'm ranked with spirit or not. It doesn't matter if I have spiritual gifts or not. Why is nobody helping me? I mean, take all of that off. Why did nobody do anything for so long? 50 years. Why do I not have proper birth information? Why are people not coming forward? Because they've earned money, they've made benefits, they've had lots of houses, they've had lots of parties, they've gone on lots of trips, they've made their $1 million homes, they've done everything they've done off harvesting off of me. That was the word that Source gave me, God gave me, elite soul harvesting. They're the ones that choose and pick certain people and they harvest off their energy. They make sure that they stay suppressed, and it's called handling. They send in the cults and covens to make sure that they get handled. That's how the system works. Not all cults and covens are directed by the governments or directed by the shadow governments. They know who is who, they know the lineages that have money, and then they send them to the cults and covens of the collective, and the cults and covens are responsible for handling them, for putting them under black magic, for making sure that their life never works out, to sabotage them left, right, and center, through mental, physical, emotional, spiritual abuse, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, of course, they didn't know or care that I worked in the government, the actual ombudsman office. I know what goes into a POA, and somebody that's trying to enforce you to look like you're crazy. Well, no, you're just enforcing it because you're doing magic on me 24 hours a day. And then you're surprised that I'm homeless because you've got 300 people that are hacking and stalking and spying into my accounts and sending emails and, doing what they do to suppress my work, to suppress everything that is money coming into me, because you don't want me to have money. Because as long as I stay quiet, the people that are in charge can stay in charge. The people that are controlling the people can keep controlling the people. You either want to wake up, and be sovereign and self-serving and go in God's design. This is why God still has me alive. Because I don't have to prove anything. God doesn't want me to argue with anybody on the line. God says, I will prove it. You're either going to be in entropy, you're going to be in Epstein Earth, you're going to keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep doing box store beliefs, or you're going to get in alignment and move to eternal light. It is that way. It is only that way. You're 100% responsible for your core vibration. Your core vibration can only change how? By doing the healing, by doing the alchemy, the 3 A's, and by doing your 3 E's. I've written 3 books. I've got 2 more coming as soon as I get my stuff back because it was stolen. And that's part of the systematic abuse. So Slow Dagger, go do your research. Look up Slow Dagger. Look up cult, coven, Masonic crimes and crime rings. They do RICO crimes. They lure children into trafficking. They're all a part of the Epstein trafficking agendas. That's what the cult and coven is. Shadow government. Not all governments are like this. Not all people in the government are like this. I'm talking about the shadow government that I was involved with, Canadian and U.S. shadow government. They knew who I was at birth. I was targeted from birth. I was moved here and there from birth, and I was studied and experimented on my whole life, and nobody had legal authority to do so. And then, because they know that I'm ultra human, they know that because I'm ultra genius, they know that anything they can throw at me, I'm going to get out of anyways, because you're all low vibrational, ignorant people. You're working from the lowest dark consciousness ever, and I'm in light. I'm going to get out of your stuff, and God said, you're not going to do this anymore. You're not going to abuse me anymore. Every single one of you will be pulled out. Every single one of you will be known. Every single one of you for all of your deeds, for all of your choices, for fabricating paperwork, for fabricating evidence, for tampering with evidence, for destroying evidence. All the things that have been done to me. Everything will be known. God wants it known around the world. Because I am one of millions that are systematically abused every day. The retirements are being taken, inheritance are being taken, the lineage inheritance are being taken, and people are treated like absolute pieces of meat that are traded, that are bet on in the black underground. They are linked to the shadow government. They are linked to cults and covens. And cults and covens keep these people numb and dumb by black magic, by voodoo. And they lure children into Epstein-like agendas and Epstein-like trafficking rings and RICO rings and criminal rings. Just look at Calgary Cult. Everything they do is criminal. Everything they've done is criminal. Nothing that they have filled out is accurate and true. They fabricated every piece of paper. The only thing I've signed in 8 years is my divorce. I've signed nothing. My signature should be on nothing. The only thing I've signed is my divorce through the King's Court. Go do your research, pull up the investigation. So now they're finding out that everything I've said is true. All of my predictions are true. Everything that I've been shown by source is true. This is source downloads. These are my source downloads. These are my downloads. Nobody does what I do. You can't take a low vibrational cult person and say, we're going to do a destiny swap on her. The cults and covens get together on their Sunday night meeting, and they get together with other global networks, and they're going to put a whole bunch of spell work on me, and they're going to swap my destiny because they want my DNA. Are you kidding me? So what about the other 1,000 lifetimes that you've got just from Earth? Where are you going to get that from? How are you going to get that? That's a capacity and aptitude. Have you worked on it? No, because all you're doing is focusing on me. You're not focusing on anything about your conscious. You can't hold my capacity. You couldn't hold a minute of it. You don't know anything about source conscious. You don't know anything about God conscious. You don't know anything about the essence of source. You don't know anything about a coding. You don't know anything about a codon. And then I said, anybody that thinks they know this, and anybody thinks that they want to show the world, and they want to out me, I'll see you on stage. And you're going to be asked the same questions I'm going to be asked, and we'll see which one of us is a true conduit. They don't even know what a true conduit is. They have no idea. They have no idea what a conduit is. No idea. All they do is they cut and copy my content, they cut and copy my information, they cut and copy everything. They're mimickers, they're copiers, they're harvesters, and they get paid. They get paid to harvest, they get paid to copy, they get paid to make fake AI pages. They make as much money as they can off the ones that are doing the light, while meanwhile we're sleeping on the streets. And I'm actually the ones that are healing the children. So God has said enough. Everybody's moving. It's all being moved. All being moved, all being moved. So the Celestials, the Galactic Federations, all of the angels, everybody is coming in, and they are going to be helping between now and, they said, 8th of 8th, which is the Lion's Gate. That's our highest alignment. The 8th of the 8th, there is going to be higher and higher alignments for those that are in alignment of your highest reality, and those that are absolutely just in the vampires, parasites, cheating, scraping. God is going to give those a chance that have been in the cults and covens, that have been unknowingly in black magic, and unknowingly they do want to come along for the ride, and it's up to only God and those people to deal with those people. I don't want to get involved in that. It's all free will for everybody. I get to put out my wisdoms. I get to put out my vibrations. I'm here to activate those to go into 5D, because we're kind of at the 8-ball here. So they bring in the best people like me. I'm a closer. They bring out the best people with the high vibrations, with the higher knowledge, with the more pure knowledge. Let's get activated. Let's go and let's heal. Because we are moving forward. I don't give a crap if anybody believes me. I'm going to move forward, and you're going to be sitting still going, that's not true. That's not how the Bible said. That's not true. That's not what God is. That's not true. That's what this is. That's not true. Meanwhile, we're all moving on, and you're still sitting there trying to argue with people. Okay, so you keep arguing. Bye. I'm going to keep ascending, right? I'm not here to prove anybody in their boxed or beliefs and what they think God is and how they think God is. It's up to you to do your healing. If you don't want to do your healing, don't come on my channel, because this is what my channel is about. It's about healing and getting to our eclectic, diverse, incredible aspects of cells, because we have so much to learn. So much to learn, so much to learn, so much to learn. Okay, so the other thing we wanted to talk about was paragenetics. That's a real thing that we're going to be talking about exploring. Yay, paragenetics, yay, paragenetics, yay, paragenetics. That's how Source gives us the highest vibrational genetics that we can as divine Source creator. So paragenetics is something that's very complex. There's not a lot of people that talk about it. I only trust one person, Maya Naratuman, which is a colleague of mine. So as I get more knowledge about it, and as I, as I get activated on my DNA, I'd like to focus on the brain, so my area of energy focus will be more on the brain, but I'm going to have to know more about paragenetics, so I'm going to have to put myself in there and start learning about that. So they're going to be activating me because I've asked them for that. And so in the light body, and as we get activated with more light and we start harmonizing with more light and you start practicing more of what I offer here on my channel, which we're going to do an activation right now, and you start working with your body of light, you start getting your chakras aligned, you start working with love and light and beauty and all the things that make us feel beautiful, because we want divine feminine and the goddess of divine feminine to come forward and amplify her energies, because we need more balance on our planet. Divine masculines need to do their healing on all their distortions, and we need to have divine feminine come up and live the goddess energy and be more comfortable in the goddess energy and really advocate for the goddess energy and bring those energies back into balance for the planet. That allowing more of the diverse energy that's out there with those that don't have a voice, that haven't had a voice, to come forward and start making way and making pathways for those that haven't had a voice. And so that is the LGBTQ1 plus community. All of those people are before us as a part of us, as a part of our unity consciousness. They're here to show us where our discriminations have been. They're here to show us these advancing experiences. They're very brave beings of being hybrids in their own bodies and moving through things that are very complex. And that it's a very complex situation and issue. We must approach it from the highest level of compassion, unity consciousness, and acceptance of all beings, because they're God conscious beings. We have to understand that. They're still God conscious beings. We're all God consciousness. We're all seeing ourselves from everybody's perspective. And that's God consciousness. That's truly godliness. And anybody that says anything different, you have to discern with a great sense of heart, because we're kind of, every day that we move forward is more and more of a day that you're getting more and more closed from the higher realities. So if you want to keep maintaining discriminatory beliefs about people not being godly, you're going to have a very tough time, because unity consciousness is all aspects of life being godly. There is no discrimination. So if you hold discrimination for LGBTQ plus one people not being godly and all of these things, you're discriminating and you're closing out an aspect that is God. It is there for a reason. We are here for a reason. God wanted that experience as an expression of the dodecahedron. God does not make mistakes. So we have to understand what godliness is. It is the unity consciousness of all that is. Because if we just look at it just on our collective, and somebody says that that's not godly if you're LGBTQ2N plus, how is it anybody's, again, that's low consciousness? It's such low vibrational information. So are you saying that when the Andromedans land here, and the Andromedans don't look like us, but they're in a humanoid body, what do you say about that? What do you say about a Syrian that doesn't look like us, and they're blue or green? What do you say about that? Do you say they're not godly? They're higher vibrational than you, and they'll run circles around you in a court of law if you want. If a Zeta comes on, and a Zeta is standing before you, and a Zeta, they're called light Zetas now, because they're now Christ consciousness. They've been brought into the Christ consciousness field. Yay for light Zetas, yay for light Zetas. They're now operating in Christ consciousness. They're around me all the time, light Zetas. They're beautiful beings. They're lovely beings. So are you to say that they're not God consciousness? Are you to say they're not godly? So again, no, we're going to raise our consciousness. And we know that we've had a whole bunch of information that's left us very negative, very dark, very discriminatory, and has left us with a lot of manifestations on our planet that have to be healed. We are here to that comes on this channel, I bring forward what has to be faced and healed. And you each have to do it within your own soul's blueprint, within your own daily pathwork. Because they're discriminations that must be healed. Yes, the Orion people. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody, you can say and you can believe anything you want. It's still source. You still had to have that offering of that belief. You have that belief for this minute, but it's going to change in 5D. You won't get to 5D without unity consciousness. Because 5D is all creation. It's all of our galaxy. It's all the galaxies. It's all the universes. It's all everything. How can you say that that's not source? Source is source. Source manifested it. Source, that's source. So you're going to say that you're not source? You're going to say that that's not source. Just because it belongs to a bubble that wants to believe that they pray on the one knee instead two? Seriously? This is how silly it is. This is why we have to put all box store beliefs, all church and state aside, because they're brought in and they've been made and created and sustained by absolute misinformation, misguidance, and a lot of people have died. And Source has said enough. You're not going to be taking from the starseeds because you know they have light and you're just refusing to get light on your own. So how's that okay? So you've taken the destiny from a whole bunch of starseeds. You've suppressed somebody like me that should have been out in the collective already, traveling the world, helping people heal, giving people the true proper godliness. So how many starseeds have been harvested? How many starseeds have been thrown in the ocean? Their destiny's completely written off like it means nothing. No, starseeds aren't going to be harvested anymore. You're going to get immediate karma. That's my voice. Because my voice now ranks the planet. And as I say, it goes. Diversity is all that is Source Creator. Are you kidding me? Does Source make one type of flower? No. Does Source make one type of animal? No. Does Source make one type of human? No. There's humanoids all over the multiverse. We're all God Source. How you operate through your body is a free will choice. You operate in negative, neutral, or positive, and there's infinite positives. There's joy, there's happiness, there's beauty, there's creativity. There's all sorts of ways you can operate in positive or negative. Joy, abundance, vibrancy, vivaciousness, all of these things. Yes, I love that. There's actually a makeup company called Mika that I found at, I think, don't quote me on this because I don't know, but I used it years ago, forever ago. Mika, it was a makeup shadow brand called Mika, M-I-C-A. And I actually found it at it was actually in a private little stall. She had a stall at a little outdoor market. And she sold this organic, I think it's organic, I'm not sure. But I had a powder from her and I loved it. It was also Mika makeup. So I totally loved Mika. I used Mika before I went to MAC because I couldn't find Mika anymore. So anyways, if anybody knows where you can get Mika, let me know because I loved Mika shadows. They were beautiful. And to MAC because I couldn't find Mika. And it's M-I-C-A. And it was a non-tested animal as well as organic vegan. So I don't know where they are now. So if anybody wants to put a link in, that would be amazing. So thank you. I'm so glad you said that. Oh my God. I haven't heard of that since before I went to MAC. So thank you. Because I did used to use Mika. I did. I love the gold shadow there. It was the only place I found gold. And so it was really wonderful. It's so light too. It's really light and it's really a small little, it's got the smaller the flecks, the perfect for me, right? I like small little flecks. I don't like the big clumpy ones, which you can find in more of the department stores like London Drugs. I've had to go to London Drugs because I don't have the money to go to MAC. And so I'd like the better quality ones, but that's fine. I'll do whatever I have the money for. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. So let's do Soul Blueprint. So so happy. I'm very, very happy with the more positive chat line. So I'm so grateful for all of you for showing up and being a part of this beautiful collective Source Creator. Source is with me. There's so much more Source energy flowing through me. So you're going to get more Source energy if you're open to it. Sit with a straight back. We're going to talk about the Divine Soul's Blueprint and activating each and every one of you because the Celestials will be paying attention with us as I am because I'm a Celestial as well. So I'm just going to be reiterating the information from Celestials from you, from God Source Creator, as God Source is with me, through me, of me. And I'm hoping that you can learn from all of my activities and learning the transparency of life and that all moments is perfect because it's meant to be, and learning yourself as Source, which is unconditional self-love and unconditional self-design of who you are within the Creator of all creation and the design that you have with Source Creator. And so knowing that all that is Source, all aspects of life are Source, all insects, all animals, everything is Source, all is Source. Source puts everything before you so you can have a beautiful experience. So how about we start respecting life and respecting who we are and loving all that we are and coming into activation of who we are in the more light and love and the quantumness of who we are as Source. That's God. And God is good. God will allow us to have fun if we just talk about an hour, just makeup. Why can't we have fun doing that? And why can't we have fun having money exchange for that? Because people want a bit of our energy and our vibration, and they want to come away feeling good. How is that wrong? It's your godly gift. You're doing it in fair exchange of those that want it. If somebody wants that energy and they want that information, they want that wisdom, they want that activation, I'm going to get paid for it. And God will support me and God will lift me. Why do you think God is placing me before people that will pay me what I'm worth? And even then, they can't afford me. So there has to be some balance of understanding here. There is no quantifiable, there's no qualitative experience that will pay me what I'm worth. I am unpriceable. because nobody offers what I am in the most pivotal time for humanity. And I'm not saying this to build myself up. Source wants me to because I've been so self-deprecating in these energies. So it's okay for me to talk like this for a little bit. It's everybody knows, all of my clients that know me and God that knows me and the answers that know me, they know that I'm not like this. I am humble to the negative effect. I'm doing this to build up the experience of who I am, the story of who I am, the energy of who I am, the goddess of who I am, and we're bringing balance back. There is not anybody that can afford me. However, I want to have a nice life experience and have a home that I can afford, to have a safe place for my children that I can afford to do my work, and a safe place for me to keep doing my work. So therefore, as I said, I have to be able to afford in the situations that we have, but we are changing them as we go. Because as we go down the road another 10 years from now, we are all going to be living from a trade service. And it's not going to be so much about mortgages and giving to the old elites and the old power games and the old Rockefellers and the old Ruffefellers and the old whatever they were as the elitists taking everything and everybody's getting richer and nobody's getting poorer. That's not how it's going to be anymore. We are coming in to shake shit up. We're coming in to bring truth. We're coming in to show you how it's done. And we're coming in to say, as a celestial, as a quantum being, as a 5-dimensional being, as a higher vibrational being, as an eternal life being, this is how it really is. Where do you want to go? You can stay on your path to 3D church, and you can stay on your path to 3D everything, or you can move yourself ahead. It's up to you. But you have to do the work. You have to get the light. You have to harmonize with source. You have to understand source is one. You have to heal the wounds that say you're separate, heal the wounds that say you're in discrimination. And you actually have to love yourself once in a while by saying, no, I'm a great fucking person and I'm going to come forward and I'm going to offer my best today. Because I get to. I get to be my best version. And if I want to talk about makeup one time, I'm going to talk about makeup. And if I want to talk about doing my hair one time, because I want to do my hair, I love styling. I love looking beautiful. I love feeling beautiful. And it's up to me that defines that and discerns that. Nobody else. God and I write what's beauty for me and why God designed me to look exactly the way I look. God had a very unique version and image of how I was going to be in this lifetime because I had to look a certain way so that people could bring forward their judgments and their discriminations about how I look and what I look and what's okay and what's not okay. So God did exactly what God meant to do in this time and era because I challenged a lot of the collective. What is somebody looking like her? And everybody, a lot of people judge me as numb and dumb, is that they would get away with their plots, plans, and schemes of the very most elite people on the planet. And God is going to show you through my life story that I have come forward and I have fooled and I have transcended and I have moved beyond 10 times over any trap they tried to send for me. Because they know it's all done from corruption and you will not fool God. Because I am 100% truth and I'm going to keep calling you out. Anytime you want to put me in a plot, a plan, or a scheme that's going to wrap me and bind me so that you can use me and harvest me just like you did how many other star seeds that nobody had a voice for. Not going to happen. God will always be a bajillion steps ahead of you. Why? Because God is you. Duh. That's what we want to say. So don't think that you're going to keep getting away with your elite crimes and your elite this and your elite that. I don't care how much money you have. God will make sure that your names are known for everything that you have done to me and other people. Because there is no way on earth, there's no way on any earth, there's no way in creation that anybody gets away with dumping children in the ocean. Because you don't want to be accountable for your sex crimes. This case will be similar to that which is known as the reader said this morning, as the aligned reader said this morning. This case will be known as like an Epstein file and all the people and all the things that were done within it. Just to keep me from being me. So I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to be as eclectic. I'm going to be as diverse. I'm going to be as unique. I'm going to be as authentic. I'm going to be as genuine. I'm going to be as raw as I want to be because I'm godly and God knows that. And God knows I activate the whole creation. I'm moving energy and I'm making quirks on what section is that, Spirit? Show me what I'm looking at right now. There's a galaxy. There's a universe. Where am I? 8th dimension. Where? Do other universes, Source, do other universes have dimensions that are numbers like ours? No. Color and sound always. What am I looking at right now, Spirit, Mother, Father? What am I looking at right now, God, Father? Can you put that in a sound or a word? Ta'ang, ta'ang, 8th dimension. It's our 8th. It's not 8th there. We call it 8th. We're just giving a similar vibration of harmonics and information. Where is this? Is it in this universe or another one? A partnering one? Te nama a te keshe nanaka de na a te sina ai nanaka ai ma de nanaka. Si nanaka i namaka a te keshe e nana a e a. So I'm just doing a download transference, so just bear with me for a second. I'm doing something from another universe, so I'm bringing forward sounds. So I'm connecting with a thread. God is connecting me with a thread there. So just open up your heart spaces. Open up and allow. Put your hands facing up, feet on the ground. Take a deep breath. Visualize white light. Taiyadama e te ke shena a ke amama. Se te ke nana nai te ke shena ka. Suya mai te ke anana a. Hai te kanama a she te ke anana se te ke nana ka a ba de ke te ke ba de ba na ne ke de da na. Tai namaka te ke shenamaka do e shenamaka de e. Asi te ke she nanaka. Take a deep breath. Clear and cleanse the sacral. Clear and cleanse the root. So this is the universe that's bringing in sounds and codes to assist us in lowering, in releasing blanketed beliefs about how our vastness. So blanketed beliefs about how small we have been. So that's the root and the sacral. Bring those energies up. Call in white light, call in white light, call in white light. We're releasing all blanketed energies about our smallness, limitation, releasing limitation beliefs, releasing small beliefs, releasing small beliefs, releasing who we are, what we are, what we are. Release those energies and beliefs. We're dynamic beings of the multiverse. And we just happen to be on this planet at this time because it holds specific lessons and vibrations for our soul's evolution. If you want to look at it that way, you are here in this body, although you have many bodies of different forms, of different kinds, in different dimensions, in different realms, in different patterns, in different galaxies, in different universes. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? Right now, the most consciousness of you wants to sit in this particular body because it has the lessons that the rest of all aspects of you are going to take heed from. Because as you heal the lowest vibrational consciousness, you let the higher consciousness aspects of you, no matter where it is, what dimension, what form, what realm, what planet it is on, and you allow that to have its aspect of life here because you're accepting the darkest aspects of you. You're accepting the shadow aspects of you because we are in the lowest dimension. We want to move you higher because it's more fun. You've learned a lot about the dark stuff. You learned a lot about discrimination. You've learned a lot about separation. You've learned about what it's like to suppress an entire collective of women and children. We've learned it. We've seen it. And then we talk about the first peoples and the natives and the elders. Everybody's been suppressed except the top 5% elite. So how's that okay? What's going to happen to your planet in 5 years? Again, you're not going to grow in consciousness because you haven't allowed for Christ consciousness. You haven't allowed for any balance. All you've done is be the winner to a dog-eat-dog world. The richer get richer, and the poor stay more poor. So how's that working for you? Church and state? How's that working for you? Your whole collective's behind the 8 ball. Now what? You're receiving from God right now. You're receiving light codes through your hands because you have chakras in your hands, and your hands should be vibrating because you got lots of chakras in your hands. Take a deep breath. Breathe in crystalline white light. See your chakras light up in all the crystalline colors, the transparent colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, peach, pink, blue, indigo, violet, gold, and silver. Just focus on receiving. Just receive. Open up your heart space and receive. And you can chant, I am receiving God's blessings. I receive God's blessing. It could be an activation, it could be a memory, could be health, it could be a lover, it could be self-love, it could be to discover. Land and ocean, forests and nature, animals and insects and sun and the moon. All is one and one is all. Eyanaya teya eya. Eya eya enaya eya. Chayana te ke de la. Taina makata de ke sena. Tayana nakate te ke sea. Tayana namaka. Chete namaka. Kala la 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 te ke sheana. Te la la te ke ana nana elana. Seana na enana ke sheana. Elana nana ke a te sheana. Ishiana maya kaya te sheama. Te amana nana kaya te sheama. Elana mana ke a te sheama. Ela te ke sheana yanea. Isiana makata te ke sheana ma. Te alala na te ke sheana naka. Taina makata te ke sheana la na 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 na. Talalana kata te ke sheana na 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 ai te ke a. Those are the Lyrans, giving you a blessing and a healing. Lyrans are powerful healers. Shenanakala, Elanakata, the Kinanaka, na na ayana, Shenanakai, dedication and a ka. Amba de kinana, dedication and a ka. Halanakation and a kaya and a kaya na ea. I decay namakata de kashin and a kataka. So this is what Source is showing me. Source is showing me the triad of the universes, and I'm sitting in the middle of all of them. Source creator is all things. Source is all things. As far as you can see, before when you can't see underneath, above and below, and within and without. Source is in all things. The more consciously aware you are, you get that hum and you get that vibration. That is the essence. That is the omnipresent. That is the harmonic of Source. The higher you are in the harmonic of Source, the higher you are in the hum of Source, you get to know that Source is Source. So Source is showing me, just as all of you viewing and all of you that are the viewers, the spectators, all of you have Source within you. But now the Source within you is being activated because this is strange and weird. We've never seen this on our planet before, but guess what? Source is showing you that Source is all things, because Source is all things is showing you these sounds and these clicks and these ticks and the light language that comes through the vessel that is seen before you. And on the other side that you can't see, she is connected with golden threads of all dimensions, of all realms, of all beings that want to talk with all of you, because all of you are somehow, somewhere inside of you, maybe not now, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next week, maybe a person from now, maybe a next person from now, maybe when you go and have some activations, you do some healing, you're going to get activated from these codes and sounds and clicks and ticks, even though you don't think you are, but that's the miracle, that's the majesty of what's called Christ consciousness. And it moves in mysterious and magical ways. That's Source. And when you're ready in divine timing, Source is going to activate you. So who is it for anybody to say in any one body, in any one form, in any one box store, in any one belief, that you can say that that's not godly, that's not Source? Well, Source is showing you that Source is Source. It doesn't matter where you come from, Lyrans, Andromedans, Pleiadians, Orions, Arcturians, it doesn't matter. It's still Source. Source is speaking with you right now because I'm a mixture of all beings. So how can that not be Source? We're showing you the intellect of Source. Source is all things. Wouldn't you want higher intellect? So you're going to say that because somebody is higher intellect that they're not Source? How does that make sense? Make that make sense. So we can see that what we've been brought up in, box door beliefs in church and state, they have given you very low vibrational beliefs so that they control and maintain you. So that they can maintain your energy, they can maintain outcome, and they can maintain the choices you're going to make. But you can say no. That's the matrix is breaking and it needs to break. Let it have its death cycle. While you get on with momenting yourself and being your inertia, the equals M3 squared, you're going to make your new reality out of your energy vibration because it feels good to be eclectic. It feels good to finally express yourself how you want to express yourself. It finally feels good to be a new version of you. And who is going to say that's wrong? You're meant to evolve. So if you're not expressing yourself in new ways, how are you evolving? You're not evolving if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, just older. So evolve, dear lighted ones. Have the difference of speech. Have the new clothes. Have the new version of you. God wants you to play. You're here to play. You're here to play. You're here to play. Who said you want to play? Let's play. I'm here to inspire all of you. Be on stage, be on stage, be on stage. It's only you. Isn't it time we had fun? Isn't it time we lifted creation from infinity, from within, from within? From within, from within. For if I wasn't me, it wouldn't be. The energies in the galaxy, moving and directing through Source, through Source. Source knows what to do when I put out energy. That's why Source knows what Source is doing. So when Source activates the genius in you that others might not understand, because why? Because it's a genius. It's a genius code. Has not been felt or heard or known yet, but you have it in your DNA. So are you going to say, just because somebody looks at you weird or your family says, that's not what we do here, that's not conform church and state, that's not what we've always done, that's not, she doesn't look like us, they don't act like us, and you're going to say, I got a genius code, and? You can live in your conformity, but I ain't going to live in your conformity. I want to be me. And just as the children in that expression we gave you yesterday in that beautiful healing called the playground, and each of those children, it didn't matter what those children were doing, because when they were in the playground, they were safe to be exactly who they were. They were not influenced by any. So they didn't feel insecure about a friend leaving them for that friend to go and do something else. Those friends knew that they were in their perfect source essence, and they were able to explore however they were able to explore and go their own ways, because they knew at some point, somehow, they would always come back together and they would share their pretend time. They would share their amusing time. They would share their imagining time. Because that's source. It's a perfection of the playground. You're always going to be in front of who you're going to be, when you need to be there, when you need to be activated, how you're going to be activated. That's source. Source knows what source is doing, but you lost trust and faith in that. Why? Because you were watching videos and you were having these fear-based experiences. You were watching videos that said, you better open up this video right now in the next 10 minutes or God's going to hate you. God's never going to come back to you. Don't ever watch videos like that. That's not godly. That's fear-based because the matrix is breaking, and the matrix is now losing your energy because you don't want to watch videos that warn you and blame you and defy you. That's not godly. You're a sovereign being. Source is going to say you want to go out and smell flowers. Go and smell flowers. Get off the electronics. You get activated, you get healed by being in nature. So don't let any video blame you and guilt you to watch a video because it's going to close in 5 minutes. You're not going to get your inheritance unless you sign on this video in 5 minutes. Don't ever watch videos like that. They are baiting you. They are baiting you so they can harvest off of you. That's harvesting. They want you to click on it, or you won't get your inheritance. You won't get your money. You won't get your lover because you've given power away to these people that do that. That's called harvesting. They take content from other people. They copy content from other people. They say and they pretend they're archangels and they're God. They're not. God and archangels don't speak like that. I'll tell you that right now. And you want to know what the Spirit said to me this morning? Mother, Father said to me, I said, what is my highest wisdoms for today? What's my codes for today? What is the outcome for today? What do you want me to know today? And God just said, just open up and receive. That's it. And then you get on the YouTube videos and they're saying, you got to open this in 5 minutes or you're not going to get your inheritance. You're not going to get this. You better sign on here or God's never going to forgive you. God's going to be crying all night long because you never signed on this video. Don't ever watch videos that are titled like that. That's BS. Shame on you. Those are AI harvesting videos because they're wanting you to sign on for the full length of the video because they're getting something out of you for the full length of the video. On my channel, you can come and go all you want. You're not here to heal. It'd be better you get off because I'm going to activate you no matter what. And you might not like that because it's going to trigger your shadow. But it is what it is, so I'm here to do it. That's what it is. I ask for donations because I'm living on the street because of the people that have suppressed me through the slow dagger effect. This goes on every day. More and more people being homeless every day. More and more people have the agendas. There's agendas out there that they don't want humanity to own homes. Why? Why is that? In this particular part of the world, there are certain agendas that don't want you to be in a home that you own. Why is that? What's the agenda? What's the agenda behind? What's the energy behind that? Control, domination. Okay, well, who are you to say what we're going to do on Gaia's planet, which is free? Gaia, in all Gaia's right, if Gaia wanted to, and God wanted to, Gaia and God would say, okay, that's enough. You guys have played your greedy game. We're going to wipe it all out now. We're going to start from scratch. There's not going to be any such thing as banks or mortgages or anything else like that. All your money's going to get taken away. Then what? Then how are you going to say who owns what? Nobody owns anything about Gaia. We only do it because it's a temporary state of how our 3D reality works. In essence, nobody can own Gaia. Mr. Gates. I want to have a conversation with Bill Gates. He's not present. Of course he's not. Because he's not in my vibration. See what we're saying, people? Be discerning. And don't let anybody, it doesn't matter how much money they have, think that they have more smarts and more power over you. Because there was everybody on this planet that was the highest vibrational money people. And we say money. That's their vibration is only money. So they were the highest vibrational people on money. And they had their bigoted aspects of their past and their bigoted righteousness of their past. And they were toting around their Bible, but they were doing horrible things behind the screen doors. And so they were the ones that were judging me. Say, I'm just another passing buck. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I know people, I know talent, I know this and I know that. I'm the one that's got it all. And you all judged me. So now where are you? And Source is going to show you. You cannot move forward in any of your programs. You cannot move forward in any of your agendas without me and my say. Now what? Then what? You're still going to be at the same thing. You're still going to be at the same point on the table. Put your paper down and draw it out. It doesn't matter what you say, and doesn't matter how many plots or plans or schemes or things that you think you're doing behind the gates, and you think that Source is not seeing you. I am the eyes and the ears and the heart of Source. Guess what? I see what you're doing. You think you can trick me and you think you can scam me because you need me, because you've built businesses off of harvesting off of me and your shadow government and your shadow ways. And you're sitting in shadow, and the only way for you to move forward, is what? Because your ways aren't working. Your church and your box store beliefs have proven to you it will be your demise. You will only get as high as you will get. Period. And that's why I know for a fact, unequivocally, and I will see you in the highest of courts, and I will wrap circles around you 100 times, not just 10, but 100. Because there's 300 people that were involved. There's nobody that can do a destiny swap on me. And I just proved it. And you're going to prove it to yourself every time you think you're going to do a plot and a plan, a scheme on me. Why? Why is the intention for you in the first place to do a plot and a plan and a scheme? Why? Let's go there. Let's get to the core value of what is vibrational, multi-vibrational in this collective. Why would anybody want to do a plot or a plan or a scheme on me? What's the core reason? Core reason, get to the bottom of it. Core reason. Why would you want anybody to do a plot, a plan, or a scheme from the shadow government or the cults and the covens or the individuals or the witches and the warlocks or the voodooists? Why? What is the core reason for all of you? We're in spiritual court. Higher order court is on right now. Gavel, please. The higher spiritual courts were open right now. This is my courtroom. I'm the judge, I'm the bench, I'm the jury. Now we're opening up questioning. Why is the intention for anyone on the planet in any way, it doesn't matter what your ranking is, doesn't matter what you think your title is, doesn't matter who you think you are. Why would anybody want to do a plot, a plan, or a scheme on me? In any way, in any version. Whether it's a destiny swap, whether it's to take my gifts and skills, whether it's to take my money, doesn't matter. Why? Why the plot and plan? Get there. I want all of you in the collective right now to get there. Why would anybody want to do a plot and a plan on me? Right. Why do they want it? Why do they want what they want? Because they don't have it. They don't know how to get it. Very good, collective. Now you're intuitive readers. You're reading the energy. You don't need the facts before you. You're reading the energy. Because you see people being systematically abused before you. Why do they want it? Because they're in lack mentality, they don't have it. Separation from source, disconnection. And you will only get as far as you will get in your state of consciousness. The only way for you to raise your consciousness is through light. Light, intelligence, wisdoms. And you can bring me anything on the planet and we can go around in circles by 100 and we're going to come back to the same answer. You will only get as high as you will get because of the consciousness you're sitting within, because you cannot see the forest through the trees. And you are what you are and I am what I am. The only way for you to change it is for you to do the fucking work. Thank you for such an amazing collective that sits before me today, for you are the most awakened crowd that we've had so far. I adore you. Thank you. I love you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for allowing us to see that we are all vibration, and we can read vibration, we can know vibration, and we can sense vibration. Those are our gifts that we've been given by God. And if you practice it, and if you initiate with your teams and with your higher self, and you work with your teams and your higher self, and you be initiated with your teams and your higher self, and you work with God in this way, God is going to put you on the very path that's going to bring a vocation for you that you can earn a beautiful income in however way you earn it, that is aligned with God, that is aligned with your blueprint, and you are absolutely in alignment with the heavens. Doesn't that sound good? Then working at a job where you don't like, then working at a job you don't understand, working at a job that doesn't feel good, working around people that don't make you feel good. Doesn't that feel better? So why don't you go and create something that's good for you and let everything else just sit where they sit and let them have their attitudes and beliefs? Because you're not responsible for them. You're here to be the best light that you are. You're here to be the best version that you are. You're here to be the best song that you are. Because you are that you are, you're a part of God. Aren't we all real? Aren't we all diverse? Aren't we all raw? Aren't we all authentic? And if we're being mature and if we're being responsible in how we are and who we are, and we get to state that because it is the expression of who we are, that's our universal birthright. I get to express myself in whatever way I want and whatever energy I want. And if a Lyran comes through, I'm gonna express myself as a Lyran. If an Arcturian comes through, I'm gonna express myself as an Arcturian. If the Pleiadians come through, I'm gonna express myself in the infinite species that the Pleiades have. That's my birthright. I'm multiversal. God made me this way. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm gonna be less. You can't even put a number on me. Therefore, go back to the table, put your contracts back, and you're going to put a number down there that's going to be my benefit, not yours. Because I'm finally going to get what I'm going to be paid. And I'm just going to go right back to the collective, because that's what leaders do. And we're going to have healing systems for all those children that were dumped in the oceans, because that's what their souls want. Their souls want a system where the children will be heard, that if they say they're being touched on, that they're going to be looked after and they're going to be healed before they get dumped in the ocean. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? Now, isn't that more of a way that is sounding godly? It's full circle. It's going to be your highest best and your highest best and your highest best and your highest best. And even those ones that have been passed on, the highest and the best. That's what I speak. I am that I am. That's my ranking. And why ain't nobody going to touch me. Don't bring me your fake offers and tell me to fit inside your boxes, because I won't. You want to pay me to be a part of something miraculous, then it's going to be a two-way street. And I'm going to be exactly who I'm going to be. Ain't nobody going to tell me how to be. Because I won't fit in your box. I don't know how many times you got to bring it to me. You brought it to me 3 times. 3 times for me to look a certain way, for me to act a certain way, for me to speak a certain way, and for me to dress a certain way. And you're going to keep going back to the table, and you're going to keep rewriting those sentences, because I ain't signing nothing. You don't got enough money for me. And y'all know it. And your consciousness is going to sit where it's going to sit until you get the light. Because you're not accepting me. You want a piece and a parcel of me so that you can make it into something that you want, so that I can look like you and act like you. I ain't going to act like you ever. I never going to act like you. I'd rather be me. Eclectic, wonderful me. I should have been on stage, and God says, this planet is your stage now. Lift up, activate, activate. There's more like me, there's more like me. We're tired of being suppressed, and we're tired of being depressed. And we're tired of living on the streets, and we're tired of being told that we're nothing. And we're tired of people rolling their eyes at us, and we're tired of people saying that we don't have nothing to say. Well, we got lots to say. Watch me, because my word is 10 times yours. And my word changes mountains. There's mountain peaks that are changing right now because I'm pulling them into my atmosphere. Can you believe that? There's mountain ranges that are coming to me. Watch it. Watch it. There'll be mountains singing my song. You know they are, they know they are. Doesn't it feel good to be sourcely? Play with source, play with source. Shea-na-ya-ya-ya. Thank you, Holy Divine Spirit. 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 Thank you, Holy Mother, and thank you, Holy Father. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you to the heavens, and thank you to the ancestors. Thank you to the celestials. Thank you for assisting us and helping us see who we are in the highest dynamic of who we are. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Take a deep breath. The activation of authenticity and genuineness. And be exactly who you are with your freedom of speech, and be gentle and compassionate, for all is one and one is all. And this is the God that I know. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. That was perfect timing. Oh, that felt good. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I love you. I love my celestials. Thank you, celestials. Thank you, celestials. Thank you, celestials. I love you. I love you so much. We have time for one question. My PayPal donation is paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. It will be Joanna L. Ross temporarily until I get all the papers and the documents and the monies, and then I'm changing it to Celeste. So until all that paperwork happens, it's going to be Joanna L. Ross for a little while, which is fine. The heavens still call me Joanna sometimes. They call me Joanna Celeste. Celeste Joanna. The heavens are so wonderful. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That was wonderful. That was a good healing. So the Lyrans are beautiful healers. They're such great energy. So thank you to the Lyrans that came through in that That collaboration. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope you, does anybody have wonderful plans for their Valentine's? Are you going out for dinner? Are you doing anything special? Are you having a special dinner in? What's your plans for Valentine's? You want to put your comments down? Any comments for Valentine's Day? What you doing? What you doing for Valentine's? What is God's message today? It's unity and oneness. The one is the all and the all is one. We're all, accept all, unconditional acceptance. Unconditional acceptance, it's all God. Like my glitter, used to be silver, but now it's pink because I use it with my lipstick. I just unconditionally accept this. See, look, it's gone pink now. It's not goldy silver anymore. I accept it. So now it's like a pink lip gloss. So see what happens when you unconditionally accept something, when you think it's like it's all changed colors because I mixed it with my lipstick. You say, no, now it's like a pink lip gloss. I accept unconditionally. I just love it all. So Source can show you in any way. You could be as silly and as accepting in any way that you want. God will show you. It's really, we don't have to be this serious, people. Just love people and stop scamming and get out of people's lanes. You all thought money was everything? Well, no, everything right now is about spirit. If you're spiritually rich inside and you're spiritually exploring yourself and investigating yourself and loving people, that's more important than anything. Your freedom of expression and exploring life and all that is God and coming forward with an authentic, genuine offering, that is so rich. So be that. Don't be conformed by outer things because they're all falling away. And so, so somebody wanted to know my outfit today. I got my little BCBG, I like their denim. They have great denim. And it's just a short little sleeve, sweat top. And then I'm wearing, I think these are BCBG. No, they're Levi's lowriders, wide leg. I love wide leg and lowriders. And I love the low waist because normally they're all up high-waisted. I'm so sick of high-waisted. So that's, and then I'm wearing my Blanc New York faux suede. Faux suede. I like Blanc New York. If you want a nice brand, a denim brand, they're really cool. I like Blanc New York. So that's a good brand. And so, so love all of you. I love all you. I love you. Donations would be really, really wonderful because it's Valentine's and I don't have a Valentine's date or anything. That's the only bit of, like the sad emoji. I don't have a Valentine's date. Send me a donation. I'll take myself out for a spinach salad. But I had a wonderful client last night, so I adore you and I love you. I'm going to go have a salad right now because of you, and I'm so very grateful. I'm so grateful. My heart loves you so, so much, and you'll always have a place in my castle. Wherever my castle will be, there's always going to be a room that I'll make up for you, and you'll be with me forever and ever and ever. So I love all of you. I love all of you. God loves you. God loves you. Well, one is well, and all is one. Please love everybody. Give everybody their voice, and sit and listen to somebody for today, and give them an hour just of their time, and listen to them, and then speak up on your own. You're loved, you're adored, the heavens love you, everybody loves you. So just focus on love. We love you, we love you. Okay, we're going to say bye now. Bye, everyone.